But Jason, what do you mean all the motivational rubbish, let's call it what it is hurting my business? It can't. It's uplifting and inspiring. Yep, we've heard it all before. Let me explain to you right now where all the motivational content and material that you're actually consuming is in most cases doing more harm than good. I'll explain to you right now. So there's a few things that we need to put into place right now. First of all, is motivation important? Absolutely it is. As a mentor of mine once said, it's just like bathing. It doesn't last. It's why we do it daily, right? So just think about it that way. Motivation is important. We need to be positive. We need to have the right message. We don't want any of our head trash, allowing us to spiral and stick our head in the sands, procrastinate and get all negative and down, and we've got to be uplifting and inspiring and empowering and all of these amazing things that we always hear about. Well, guess what? That is true, and we need to do it. And it doesn't last, so we need to do it regularly. But, and it's a big but, I just started to get that song in my head. I like big butts because I said, and it's a big but. Anyway, I'm going to get back on track here. Sorry about the little segue. The fact of the matter is that the vast majority of time, all of the motivational, let's call it what it is, right? The motivational porn that you're actually consuming right now is actually detrimental to yourself and the business. And the reason is quite simply this. We tend to overconsume. It becomes an addiction, all right? And I've actually got two of my colleagues that are actually global leaders in addiction and also porn addiction. And it got me thinking about this the other day, and I was having a great chat with them, with my overseas colleagues, in the fact that the amount of consumed motivational content and material that most people as business owners consume on a very regular basis, it actually becomes quite an addiction. So to the point where I know quite a few health business owners have time in their diary where they have to go and sit down through and read someone's blog, listen to a podcast, watch a video, do this, do that, etc. It's like their daily ritual, their daily thing. Now, if it's in a small quantity and it's applicable for them to be able to get the benefit and move forward, then it potentially is okay. But there's a large amount that actually find that they are prolific beers, like I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be that, I'm gonna, etc. But they never actually do. And that's where the challenge is that we actually get caught in almost an addictive state of needing more. I need to watch that. I need to read this. I need to do this. I need, gimme. It's almost like Gollum. It's like the precious, right? And so, bad reference to Lord of the Rings for those that are like, what's he on about? So here's the thing. How many times day do you need to be motivated? Do you need to always be getting something new and fresh and inspiring? Because the challenge is the vast majority of avenues that are coming to you in that realm are using it as a seed and a drip feed to be able to put their own positivity forward, and quite often being used to try and get you to act in a certain way or buy in a certain way. So what it's actually doing is it's leading us down the garden path to areas and amplitudes that we don't really need to be involved with. So when we stop and think, how many times are we looking at these and then getting ourselves distracted? And this becomes a crucial thing that most people miss. When we go and read something motivational, when we go and learn something new, watch that YouTube clip, listen to this, etc., and we're doing that on a regular basis, it fuels and inspires us, which is great for if we need to pick up first thing in the morning with our coffee to get ourselves set and ready to rip in for the day, etc. That's fantastic. That's what the whole motivational material is meant to be about. But for so many people, when we consume so much of it over and over again, it becomes an addiction and we start getting ourselves distracted. And we see this all the time. I work with some of the most amazing business coaches and mentors around the world. And literally these guys are running $30 and $40 million coaching businesses. They see it from everyone from the $200,000 businesses to up to the multi-billion-dollar businesses. And it's the same over the time period that we look. It's the same thing that happens in every industry. People start getting an addiction to having to be motivated, having to read this, learn this, etc. And as a net result, it almost becomes a competition about how many books they've read, how many this, I did. And they use that as a scenario with people in their own business community or inside their industry that we've done, I've done. And that becomes this competitive addiction around marketing, around motivational material. But what they're actually doing is they're actually creating an addiction, and they're actually putting themselves into a position where they very rarely implement. And that's where the danger lies. It becomes an addiction because they want more and more, and I need more. I need to do this. Oh, quick. I can't go a day without almost hyperventilating. And you might think that sounds funny, but it's scary how true this is. The amount of people that need to constantly be fueling themselves with all this motivation and inspiration and all of this material, yet don't actually act on it, is scary. And on the other side of the coin, there's all these people that then do go and act on it, but therefore they're now getting very distracted, very misaligned with what they should be doing. And as a net result, they try 25 different things every single day, and they never really do anything amazingly awesome. So here's the thing that we've got to stop and think about. Motivation is important. We all need it. I'm not downplaying it, but we need to stop and have a good check of reality. We need to stop and have a think about it. Is this exactly what I'm needing right now? Do I actually need something new and exciting and motivating in my business professional world right now? Because if we actually have a good hard look at ourselves, the vast majority of the time, no, we don't. What we need to do is go back to yesterday's project or last week's project and actually follow through, actually implement, put the right things in place. Don't just go, oh yeah, but now I need to do this, now I need to do that, and get caught with shiny objects. Because when we get caught with shiny objects, we never actually get done what we should have done. We don't actually do it to the nth degree and absolutely create something that changes huge amounts of lives. We end up going, oh, that'll do. Or we get 50% of it done and we've turned on to something else and we totally forget. And if you think about it right now, there are projects that you should have done 2 or 3 months ago that you haven't done for one of numerous reasons, probably. But also looking at right now, you sort of wish that 1 or 2 of those projects were actually done. And we're all going to make excuses, and we're all going to be quick to jump in and explain why we didn't do them, or the reason why, or this happened or that happened. But ultimately, they were important. They should have been done, but we got caught with shiny objects. We got with our addiction to motivational porn and got ourselves caught being distracted, working in all these different areas, trying to always feel like we have to be ahead of the curve and do something that someone's never done before. We've got to be the Uber of the health industry. Guys, at the end of the day, you don't have to be in that situation. You can have a lot more impact, lead an amazingly fruitful life that's beneficial to yourself, to your clients, to your team, to your family, your friends, the community around you, without having to try and do that. And we get caught always wanting that thirst for more, to be the first one, to do this, to do that. And ultimately, it comes down to a bit of pride and it comes down to ego. So here's my thing, guys. Let's use the motivation for what we need it for. Let's make sure that we get inspired. Let's make sure that if we're feeling a bit flat and we need that rev up, that we do that. But let's just check our behavior and make sure that it's not a bit of an addiction, that we have to feel like we've got to do this more and more and more. We've got to inspire and change lives and motivate and this, and I've got to do this for myself, because the vast majority of time, you're going to get yourself addicted to needing more and more and more. We need the little dopamine hit more frequently, but more so, it's going to get you distracted. It's going to get you chasing multiple rabbits. And like the Russian proverb says, man who chases 2 rabbits will never actually catch either. So what's the one thing you need to focus on right now? What's the thing that is, when you apply yourself, going to motivate you, going to inspire you? There's a reason why you started that task or project in the first place, because it was important, because you knew what it was going to do for your clients, for yourself, for your team, etc. Let's go and get that done, and know that we don't need to be constantly searching for the next bit of motivation, the next little bit, and the pump up, the rev up type stuff, because majority of the time you don't need it. You've got so much around you that can change lives, that can do amazing things. Why don't we look at what we already are doing, or some of the stuff that we stopped doing and should be doing, because that's going to inspire you and motivate you without having to constantly go to all of these external motivating factors and rely on things like motivational porn, for use of a better word, to constantly feel the need to get distracted, reinvent ourselves, and ultimately never finish so many of the projects that we should have started. So let's go and implement more. Let's go and actually take more action. Let's ship more. Let's ship faster. And that is what's going to be able to drive you and motivate you more than any of the other motivational porn that's out there right now. I hope that helps. Go get stuck in. I'll talk to you again very soon. Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Profitable Practice Podcast. I would love nothing more than for you to be able to leave a review. I get so much joy out of listening and reading the amazing things that you guys say about this. So please subscribe to our channel, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Let's get some more fantastic information out there so all of us can grow the industry together. Cheers for now.